Hello everyone, I'm Satyajit and welcome back to my channel. You watching the Python course playlist and today's video is on Python loops, functions and file handling. Inside that we shall be talking about the functions and Lambda function. So we shall be talking about functions and Lambda functions in this particular video. I hope you are already clear with the previous topics, what has been taught so far. If not, please go back to the videos in my playlist and study them. So as we are already in the third chapter, which is Python loops, functions and file handling, we already covered about loops and iterations on a very high level, or I would say we had a basic understanding on loops and functions. But yeah, today we shall be talking about functions and what are lambda functions. So we'll talk about that. So functions is a name sequence of statements that perform some operations. Now so far what we have studied in the loops class is that, for example, if a number is even number or a odd number, the same thing can also be put inside a function. It can be placed inside a function. Function is nothing but it's kind of a named sequence of statements that perform some operation. That means if you call a function, your function will return some output out of that. So the piece of code whichever you are writing on your standalone lines or something like that, x equals to 5 or any operation whatever you are doing, that can be embedded inside a function for a better understanding. Okay, here name of the function is a type. So let's say type of 32, that means type is a function. Type can also be called as a function. Okay, and expression in parenthesis is called argument of the function. Type conversion function converts value from one type to another. Int can convert floating value. Int can be converted into floats and float can be converted into integers and vice versa. So everything is part of the functions category. So it can be called as a function. Apart from that, there are some functions in a way the even and odd numbered problem. So the same piece of code, if you put inside a function, basically we write functions using definition keyword. So let me talk about that. Now, for example, I'll just go back to the previous topic. So let's write it from scratch. X equals to 10. So what we did is in the last class, if this is 0, then print it as even, else print it as odd, right? This particular, like obviously if I just run it, it will print me it's even or odd, right? Now, instead of that, if I want to write a function even or odd, that means this is a function. Let me just create indentation. Now let me just hide it out. So I don't want to pass like this. I don't want to pass x equals to 10 like this. So let's say I want to test it on multiple objects or multiple values of x. So I don't have to change it again and again, 10, 12, 15, something like that. So what I will do is I have created a function. Inside that I have mentioned, I have already mentioned my piece of code. Now what I'll do is I'll call my function even or odd, let's say 10. So if I print it, the output is even. 11 odd, 13 odd. So this can also be called as a function. It is defined by a def keyword. Apart from that, as I told in the slide itself, type, like anything, the type operation or info operation or conversion of this to that. So all these things are called as functions. Now, once we are done with the functions, then we will move ahead to the lambda functions in this particular video. Now, lambda functions is nothing but it's a small anonymous function which makes the developer's life easier. Now, if you write a piece of code with 5 to 6 different lines, like if this is this, then this, if that is that, then that. So the same 4 lines can be converted into a single line using a lambda function. Now, obviously, the syntax of lambda function is little bit confusing for beginners. For beginners, I would suggest you to not use lambda functions as of now. But yeah, when you have a very good hold on Python, you can simply start learning lambda functions and it makes your life easier, right? It can take any number of arguments, but can only have one expression. Okay, we'll talk about lambda functions in the practicals as well. So let's get started with the functions part. So this was the basic function which we created. Let's try to create another function. So let's just start with the factorials. Okay, let's try to find a factorial of a number. So obviously what I'll do is I'll create a function def of factorial of a number. So I'm passing n. Okay, so it will do whether n, it will give me the factorial of n. N can be any value, 1, 2, 3, any value, any natural number. So before that, let's define something as, I have created a new variable which is fact equals to 1, and let's say for I in range of 1 to n plus 1, that means 1 to n. For values 1 to n, we have to provide range of 1 to n plus 1. Fact equals to fact into I. Now what does that mean? Now not I, yeah, I, because this is I here, right? And then let's say I will return fact number of 1. Let's try it out. So now what I'm doing is, now factorial is nothing but 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 1 into 2, 3 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3, right? So what I have done is I have defined a variable called as fact, which is 1. By default value is 1, because obviously if we do it 0, anything into 0 will be 0, right? So we have defined it as 1 for range of, so we get 6 as the final output. Now this is the case for only for the first time. Once you update your value here, once you pass in through your for loop, your fact value changes, right? For the first element, for I equals to 1, fact equals to fact into I. That means fact equals to 1 into I. That means 1 into 1. So 1. Fact remains 1. When I equals to 2, fact equals to 1 into 2. That is 2. For the second value, the value will be 2. When I equals to 3, fact equals to fact into I. So fact value is 2. I value is 3. 2 into 3, 6. So I'm returning fact. So output is 6. Right? This is how it is done. And yeah, this is basically a function. My fact underscore number is a function. You can try it with different values also and just cross check. 6 into 4 into 5 will be 120, right? 6 into 4 into 5. 5 4s are 20, 26 are 120, right? So fact of number of 5 equals to 120. So this is how you define your factorial function. So let's try to write a function for, let's say, sum of all natural numbers. So we are just starting from the basics. Obviously these are basics for some people, but yeah, people who are beginning their journey in Python, obviously for them it will be easier for them to understand, right? Now obviously once the entire course is done, we have dedicated videos on various problem solving questions. Let's say some typical questions which are being asked in the interviews for the Python program especially. But yeah, obviously when your final dream or your final end goal is in data science or machine learning, Python is just for your learning purpose. It's not being asked in the interviews. Sum of all natural numbers till the number provided. Okay, so let's say, okay, let's make it as sum of numbers, and let me define the num as 0 for I in range of 1 to n plus 1. Sum equals to sum plus I. I hope this should work. Return sum. Now if I just pass any value, let's say 1, okay, sum, okay, sorry, num equals to num plus 1. Okay, so 1, 2 is 3, 3 is 6, 4 is 10. 5 is 15, right? So this is how it is doing. So just if I just take an example of 3, let me explain you this particular for loop. So when I equals to 1, so first of all, when your n is 3, that means it is for I in range of 1 to 4, right? That means it will run for 3 values, 1, 2 and 3. So when it is running for 1, num equals to 0 plus 1. That means num becomes 1. For the second value, for I equals to 2, num equals to num plus I. That means num equals to 1 plus 2. That is equal to 3. So num equals to 3. For I equals to 3, num equals to num plus I. That means num equals to, what is the value of num in the previous step? 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3. So num becomes 6, and that is returned, right? That is the reason I'm getting as 6. Okay. I have just mentioned the explanation. Obviously, we don't need the explanation. It's quite easy for us to memorize and understand. So now let's go to some other functions. Just for an example, let me write down some function and I will explain you what exactly is this. It is taking name and age equals to 35. 30. Print name. Let it be age. Okay. Now function of Ravi 20. So what should be the output? So what I have done is I have created a function which name is, let me name it function 1, just to be not confused. It is taking 2 parameters, name and age equals to 30, and it is printing. So when I'm passing Ravi and 20, what should happen? Will it print Ravi, name as Ravi and age as 20, or name as Ravi and age as 30? Okay, function 1. I haven't run this. Okay. Now it is running it as 20. Because if you are not passing any value, then it will take 30 as a default value. Let me just run this out, right? So this is the meaning of this particular function. When you are not passing any second argument, that means by default it is taking as 30. But if you are providing an input, let's say 25, that means it will take into consideration the value provided when you are calling the function. So let me write it down so that it will be easier for it to understand. Okay, so this is how the function works. Now what else? I think that's it for functions. Maybe I mean, obviously there are some advanced functions and advanced problems. We will be talking about each one of them, as I already told you, just repeating. So let's move ahead and understand what are lambda functions. Okay, again, going back to the slides, lambda function is a small anonymous function which makes the developer's life easier. Okay, it can take any number of arguments but can only have one expression. You can see the syntax is lambda arguments colon expression. The expression is executed and the result is returned. So let's try to do our first lambda function. Maybe I will just write it down. Let's try to create a lambda function that adds 10 to the number passed as an and print the result. Okay, this is the question. So let me define x equals to lambda. You can look at this particular expression. Lambda arguments colon expression. So I'll write it down, lambda arguments. Now let's say a colon expression a plus 10. Now let me store it in a variable called as x and let me print x. Okay, my bad. Print x of 5. So let me pass a value here. Okay, because it's a lambda function, right? So we have to, by default, we have to pass a value. So if you just print x, it will return you a lambda function, which tells you that x is a lambda function. Now, if you want to execute that lambda function, you have to pass some variables. So this is nothing but, you can look at this particular example again, the particular syntax. It works in this way, lambda arguments and then expression. So I have provided lambda, my argument as a, and my expression as a plus 10. That means whatever you are passing as an input plus 10. Okay. I mean, just play around with it, plus, minus, divide, all those things. Now, again, the same example, like even and odd, but using lambda function. Let's try to do this. That checks a number is even or odd. So what shall we do? Let me write down the lambda function. Obviously, it will be a little bit complicated as we move ahead. Lambda a even if a percentage 2 equals to 0, else odd. And now what I will store, I will store this in a variable x equals to this. Now print x of 5, print, so it's an odd value. 6, it's an even value, right? Now what does that mean? Lambda of your arguments and then syntax. So a equals to even if a percentage of 2 equals to 0. That means if you don't find a remainder after dividing it by 2, then it's even, else odd. Just one liner, right? In this case, it almost became 4 lines, and then calling your function, all total 5 lines. Here you're achieving the same problem just by 2 lines, right? So you're cutting down 3 lines here. Now what else? Let me also create one function. We have 4 hash values. Create a lambda function that adds 2 integers, maybe. So we are going with basics, and once we are done, we will try to jump in. So x equals to lambda of, I'm going to pass 2 values, right? A and b, or x and y, a and b, a plus b. Let me run it. You can see, very simple. There are 2 arguments which have been passed, or you can say 2 variables that has been passed, and this is the expression that's what I'm going to perform with these 2 variables. So I'm passing a and b, and I'm doing a plus b. Similarly, you can repeat. I'm passing a, so 6 is nothing but my a. I'm passing a, and this is my expression. So a should be even if a percentage 2 equals to 0, or else it's odd. Similarly, I'm passing a, so a is 5, so I'm doing a plus 20, and this is my output. Similarly, I'm passing a and b, and my output is a plus b. So whatever you pass, 5 or 4, so your output is a plus b, that's 9, right? So these are the basic lambda functions, and I think we will just try to keep this session here itself, because I don't want to go very deep into the lambda functions and functions part. I hope you have a basic understanding on functions and lambda functions both. In the next slides, we will talk about map filter reduce and some of the concepts of file handling. And then we will jump into the chapter 4, which is exception handling. And then we have Python for data science as well. So for now, if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. And yeah, keep supporting, guys. Thank you.